Habits. They're way bigger than willpower and motivation put together. By the way, it's raining outside. You're probably wondering why I'm doing a video in the rain. I'll get to that at the very end. So the big thing is we talk about habits and personal development, whether you're paying $12.95 for a book or, $7 on Audible or a $39 masterclass, that's great. But I want to talk big. I want to talk about the third habit, which is your company event. So let's take this, pretend this is your company event. Use the back of the book. Company event, ticket and airfare, transportation, hotel expenses. It could cost you $500, it could cost you $1,000 or even more. But this is why I love company events. So you're probably thinking, first of all, you need to figure out a way that it's going to pay for itself. So I always go to my events thinking, okay, I'm going to find at least one good idea that's going to pay for all my expenses. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I always put that positive frame of mind so I can attract some things that are coming to me. So a lot of times it doesn't happen right away. So you spend the money and you don't make it back in retailing or in leadership, building leaders. It just doesn't happen. And it can be kind of discouraging. Trust me, there's been a couple times, and I've talked about this in the book, where the first event that we tried to promote, we got 0 people. But eventually we just stuck with it. So think about this. A lot of times, yes, you will find a good leader. And I talk about it in the book where I met somebody that was in my group that was going to quit, that eventually, even to this day, it's been 13 years, that she does 7 figures in sales, just her group. 7 figures per month. It's amazing. So yes, you're going to have those big stories, but a lot of times think about when you go to the events. Think about the people that you meet, but more importantly, the person that you become, the intangible asset of personal development. So sometimes it doesn't really show up right away in your paycheck. It will show up eventually, but I always recommend, spending that money for a company event, all that money that you may think that starts to accumulate, meals and travel expenses, all that stuff. It'll pay for itself eventually if you go out with a positive frame of mind. That's the most important part. Is don't think of it, oh, it's another company event. Think of it, okay, I'm going to find one thing that's going to make a huge difference in my career. Whether it's the person I meet, the person I become, or a skill set that creates another leader. So the big thing, why am I doing a live video at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in a park in the rain? Well, it just started raining, and I don't think it's going to go anyway anytime soon, hopefully. Hopefully it'll go away so I can get to my car. But we did an event in Dallas, Texas 2 months ago. And it was like the craziest thing. Tornadoes hit, and some people actually even lost power for 4 days. And it was Sunday afternoon. I think it was the first weekend in June. Anyway, hotel didn't have power. Surrounding blocks didn't have power. Flashing lights and so forth. We told the hotel, okay, we're going to go to this restaurant. If people come to the event, of course you're not open. You probably won't be open for the rest of the night. Can you please tell them we're going to be at this restaurant? So people drove, from far away to go to the event. They spent extra time in traffic, going through the rain. All these things that they could have used as an excuse, they still showed up to the event. So a lot of times when you think about your company event, you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time. There's a sacrifice there. But I always look at the people as potential leaders. If they put up with all the stuff in Dallas just to show up an event, that showed true leadership. And people that were so excited to be there got more out of it than the people that said, oh my goodness, it's raining, I'm not going to go. Now, obviously, if it's unsafe, don't go to anything. But the point is that if you go with a positive attitude, nothing gets in your way. If you go with a negative attitude, everything gets in your way. Of course, everybody like, comment, and share. We'll catch you at an upcoming Zoom call, masterclass, workshop, you name it. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Thanks again.